Let us start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevaya Bhavatya Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So reading from Bhagavadam, 6th Canto, 16th chapter, 9th Sloka. Okay, those who would like to recite, I humbly request to raise the hands. Hare Krishna. Madhumai Krishna Kanta Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yesha Nityo Avyayah Sukshma. Yesha Sarvashrayah Svadruk. Atma Maya Gunair Vishvam Atmanam Srujate Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Esha Nityo Vayam Sukshmam. Hare Krishna. Sorry Mataji. Esha Nityo Vayam Sukshma. Esha Sarvashraya Swadhruk. Atma Maya Gunair Vishwam. Atmanam Srujate Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you Mataji.
Thank you Mataji. Prananandini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी
Pranam.
ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय एष नित्यो अव्यय सूक्ष्म एष सर्वाश्रय सदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैर्विश्वम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you Mataji. Subbarao Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम.
Dandavat Pranams Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एष नित्यो व्ययः सूक्ष्मा एष सर्वाश्रयः स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैर्विश्वम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभुः. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you Prabhuji. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी.
Dandavat Pranams.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एष नित्य अव्ययः सूक्ष्म एष सर्वाश्रय स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणै विश्व आत्मनं सृजते प्रभु. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you Mataji. Usha Dayavati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम्स माताजी.
Pranams.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एषो नित्यो अव्यय सूक्ष्म एषा सर्वश्रय स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैर्विश्वम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभुः. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you Mataji. Hare Krishna. Surya Prakash Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता प्रणमालु.
Pranamalu Prabhuji. Hare.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एषा नित्यो व्यय सूक्ष्म एषा सर्वाश्रय स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैश्वर्यम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभुः.
Thank you.
माता हरे कृष्ण माता.
Uma Kulkarni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय एष नित्यो अव्यय सूक्ष्म एष सर्वाश्रय स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैर्विश्वम् विश्वम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभु. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you Mataji. Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी प्रणाम माताजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय येषो नित्यो अव्यये सूक्ष्म यक्षो सर्वश्रेय स्वदृक् आत्ममाया गुणैर्विश्वम् आत्मानं सृजते प्रभुः. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you Mataji. Thank you all. Esho Nitya Avyaya Shukshma Esho Sarvashraya Svadrik Atmamaya Gunairvishvam Atmanam Srijate Prabhu. Synonyms: Esha, this living entity; Nitya, eternal; Avyaya, imperishable. Sukshmaha, very, very fine, not seen by the material eyes. Esha, this living entity. Sarva Ashraya, the cause of different types of body. Swadrik, self-effulgent. Atma Maya Gunai, by the Supreme Personality of Godhead's modes of material nature. Vishwam, this material world. Atmanam, himself. Prajate, appears. Prabhuhu, the master. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The living entity is eternal and imperishable because he actually has no beginning and no end. He never takes birth or dies. He is the basic principle of all types of bodies, yet he does not belong to the bodily category. The living entity is so sublime that is equal in quality to the Supreme Lord. Nonetheless, because he is extremely small, he is prone to be illusioned by the external energy, and thus he creates various bodies for himself according to his different desires. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, the philosophy Achintya Beda Abeda, that means simultaneously oneness and difference, is described. The living entity is eternal, Nitya, like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the difference is that the Supreme Lord is the greatest, no one being equal to or greater than Him, whereas the living entity is Sukshma or extremely small. The Shastra describes that the magnitude of the living entity is 1/10,000 the size of the tip of a hair. The Supreme Lord is all pervading. Andantrasta Paramanu Sayantrastam. Relatively, if the living entity is accepted as the smallest, there should be naturally be inquiry about the greatest. The greatest is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the smallest is the living entity. Another peculiar characteristics of the Jiva is that he becomes covered by Maya. Atma Maya Gunaihi. He is prone to be covered by the Supreme Lord's illusory energy. The living entity is responsible for his conditional life in the material world, and therefore he is prescribed as Prabhu, the master. If he likes, he can come to this material world, and if he likes, he can return home back to Godhead. Because he wanted to enjoy this material life, the Supreme Personality of Godhead gave him a material body through the agency of the material energy. As the Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita 18.61, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hradeshu Arjuna Tistati Brahmanyam Sarva Bhutani Yantrarudana Mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all the living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. The Supreme Lord gives the living entity a chance to enjoy in this material world as he desires, but he openly expresses his own desire that the living entity give up all material aspirations, fully surrender unto him, and return back to Godhead. The living entity is the smallest, Sukshma. Srila Jiva Goswami says in this connection that the living entity within the body is extremely difficult for materialistic scientists to find out, although we can understand from the authorities that the living entity is within the body is different from the living entity. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanaya Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Tadati Swapadandikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanishute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye. वाञ्छकल्पदारुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूगं करोति वाचालं भङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So I welcome you all for this morning session. Okay. So in continuation with the yesterday's class. So what was the topic yesterday? It was being spoken actually. So who is speaking here in this chapter now currently?
The Jiva is speaking, Mataji.
Jiva is speaking actually. So Chitraketu, after receiving so much instructions from Angira Rishi, still he had a tinge of lamentation. So hence Narada Maharishi, what actually by his spiritual powers he was able to get back the soul, and then the kid started speaking. The Jiva started speaking to Chitraketu. So that means he has been in the previous that means he has been sailing in the previous Janma and now also and in future Janma, like he's been taking different bodies. So which father and which mother, he started asking, and then now the conversation is going on, and then here we are able to see the eternal nature of the Jiva and then the material body. What is that Sambandha? Correct? Now, that is the real knowledge one should understand. So whatever the so-called knowledge we study on the day-to-day basis or whatever we experience, without this real knowledge, it's not of any use. So it is only to mitigate our demands to take care of ourselves in this world, wherein the ultimate goal, the goodness for any living entity is knowing about oneself. So that knowledge is the primary knowledge. If one strives for that particular knowledge, obviously he will be able to take care of the material things also in a perfect way, because we cannot get rid of the material things also. We have to survive here. Without putting effort or without working for something, we cannot even take care of this body, which has to be taken care as long as this living entity is being in this, embodied in this body. So we have to take care of material also, but we need to understand who are we, and then based on that we need to become the perfectness we need to achieve. So how here the characteristics of the Jiva and what way the material characteristics of this body and then the spiritual characteristics of the Jiva is being compared here. So which is permanent and which is temporary, like that. So whatever the actions we are performing based on the that is gross and the material elements, what and all we are getting acquired here, and then how we are coming back. So we have to think about that. So in the translation, we are able to see the living entity is eternal. This is the characteristics. So we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, as we have passed through from many slokas in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita also. So here it is an eternal entity. So it cannot be killed. It cannot be, that means the body only is getting died. That is, the death is for only the body, not for the Jiva. And it is imperishable. So very wonderful words actually. So perishable and imperishable. The body is perishable, whereas the Jiva is not perishable, because it has, like how the Supreme Lord being the Anadi, that means he also doesn't have the beginning and the end, like that. The Jivas also doesn't have any beginning and the end actually. Time immemorial. So he never takes birth or dies. So there is nothing, the jiva has to take birth or he has to die, it has to die. Only the birth is for this body. So as per the whatever the actions, whatever the karmas a jiva has performed, we are prone to take a particular body. So he is the basic principle of all types of body. Here actually it is being spoken about the Supreme Lord. So sorry, he means here the Supreme Lord, and then from him we are all the jivas who have been that is emanating from him. Uh, Yet he does not belong to this bodily category. That means here it is spoken about the jiva. So from the Supreme Lord, we are all the part and parcel. We are coming out at the time of creation, and but we never belong to this permanently. We are not belonging to this particular body. That means we are always coming back, and then we are always going back, and again we are coming back. It's like a cycle. We are turning back as per our karmic outcomes. The living and being is so sublime. That means it's a divine thing actually. So it is basically not in the conditioned way. It is always in the constitutional portion actually. That means it is always in the liberated form. Whereas we are making ourselves to put up in this conditioned state actually because of our actions. But that is equal to the quality. That is achinta veda aveda tattva. So that means simultaneously we are one and different. That means by the quality we are similar with respect to the eternal, and then it has no beginning or end, and then it never dies or it has never been born, like that. In that qualities we are always similar to the Supreme Lord, whereas but the size, the quantity, that means in that we are so different. That means jivas are infinitesimal, whereas the Lord is infinite actually. That means we cannot define the Lord's what is that the energy or his things, actually activities in full we will not be able to understand, whereas jiva is, when compared to the Supreme Lord, we are no way actually in front of him. So thus he creates various body for himself according to his different desires. That means here the jiva is getting the various bodies in accordance to the, whenever he is leaving the prayer body, whatever desires he had, accordingly he is getting the particular form, and he has to pass through that particular life as per the whatever karmas he has done in the current body, in the future body. So these two things are the major differences actually we are passing through here. So similar. So with respect to the Shastric references, the purport has been defined, and then especially in Bhagavad Gita 2nd chapter, we have studied about the size of the Atma. What are the characteristics of the Atma? Can someone speak out actually? So what are the characteristics of
Mataji.
Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Krishna. It is eternal. It is small, very
Yes.
small,
Yes.
and it is covered by Maya.
Yes. 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 It is covered.
Mataji, it is told in 2.20, Mataji. Ajayate mrite va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita na bhuyaha ado nityam sasvitoyam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire.
Yes.
It is eternal, neither it is born nor will be born. In all three stages.
Yes.
It is even body is killed, it cannot be killed. Jiva.
Yes.
Like that.
Only the body is
Puratana they say that it is.
But then that doesn't define for whatever mistakes we are doing.
Yes, Mata.
We should not utilize the Shastras. Actually, that means if a person murders a living being, it doesn't mean that he is not a murderer. Because Jiva is eternal. Once again, you should not utilize the Shastra for escaping certain characteristics, certain actions, whatever we have performed. Correct? Na? So
Yes,
here it is spoken on the knowledge level actually. That means the Atma. So we have to understand that in that particular, in the spiritual platform, not on the material platform. So in material platform, we are identified based on the body. Correct? Na? So whereas spiritual platform, everyone are same. The Atma is same. There is no like a he or she kind of thing. This thing. Only thing based on the desire only we take the form as a he or she or animal or a plant, whatever the whatever the type. There are multiple, that is different types of species actually, like aquatic and then moving, non-moving, like that. There are multiple species which comprise of the 84 lakhs of species. In that, so human form is only 4 lakhs. It includes the devatas also. So one has to know this knowledge. So if one knows why we are coming here and what action we have to perform, and then what are the things we need to adhere, that means yama, niyamas and all, it will help them to refine their that is way of actions, and then one will be able to achieve at least to the minimum level to the go back to Godhead. Because Lord is always merciful, and then moksha is being given by Him very freely actually, if we are surrendered souls. But if we are not at all realizing we are on the spiritual platform and we are still acting on the material platform, means we have to come back here. So it has been spoken. So here Achinta Veda Abheda Tattva. Correct now? So simultaneously we are one with the supreme laws with respect to eternal nature, but difference is with respect to the size. So here already it has been spoken 10,000 size of the tip of the hair. This thing we have studied in the second chapter of the magnitude means the size. So the size is only this much. So if we compare that much size and then this everywhere the Lord is pervading, we are no way that is in the accountable thing only. So for example, if you are seeing a big in the materialistic platform also, if you are seeing a big things and all for a big building, so in front of the big building, the small hut or nothing is in front of that. Correct now? So like that, we cannot compare only. That is in the material platform, we have to think about that. Whereas here, even Brahma also has been, that is in Brahma Samhita, he has been glorifying the Supreme Lords actually. Andantara Sa Paramanu. And we have studied this in second canto. Correct? There is a chapter called as what is that? Time. Okay, in the second canto, I think 6th chapter or 9th chapter, I am not able to recollect it. So wherein the jivas, how actually jivas has been identified. So, 1 second, second canto. Purusha Shuktam, cause of God. This time factor, I think it is 3rd chapter. 1 second. Yeah, 3rd chapter. 3rd chapter, we have very clear, that means that how actually this jiva size has been, we are concluding with respect to time. So in order to measure the time factor, because this material world has been based on the time only. So time of creation, and then time of maintenance, and then time of annihilation. There are that is small at every kalpa there are small annihilations, and then the Mahapralaya. Everything it has been calculated based on the time actually. So in this chapter we can able to see. So here atomic time is measured according to the single atom. Okay, paramanu means six atoms will become one paramanu. Particular atomic space, that time which covers the unmanifest aggregate of atoms is called as the great time, kala. Okay, the time factor is classified, that is it has been calculated. In physics also we have studied now, like distance by time is equal to the speed. That is one formula is there now. How actually this the rotation of the planets are happening. That means we are actually visualizing it is like a standstill, whereas in fact all the that is planets are in their revolution, and also it is been as per the, that means it is in the one position by the energy of the Lord. So that also we know here. 2 atoms make one double atom, and 3 double atoms is called as a 1 hexaatom. So okay, that only is called as a paramanu. This hexaatom is visible in the sunshine. That means if you open the window in the morning now, if sunshine comes, you can see that small particles are there now. So in the window also, that's how it has been spoken actually. So it means the jivas are the 6 atoms combined together. It's called Trishrenu, and this is visible in the sunshine pouring through the holes of the window screen. If you walk through this about this chapter, we'll be able to see about the time and then the size of the that is how actually this atom size is helpful. That means in defining this Atma thing also will be coming to know. This small Trisharenus are all is called as what? 3 Trisharenus is called as Truti, and then 100 Trutis is called as 1 Veda, and 3 Vedas make 1 Lava. So as per this time calculations also, we'll be able to this whatever the dust particles we are visualizing is called as what actually the Anus actually. So the Anu Atmas. So that means there are that is we cannot count. It's a very infinitesimal actually. That is the size of the Atma. So that based on this chapter, you have to walk through once actually that particular chapter that will be helping us to know we are no way in front of. So in front of the Supreme Lord's what is that energy and is the quantity, because it is achintya, correct now? So relatively, if the living entity is accepted as a small, so if there is a living entity being that is Atma being defined as a very small, then obviously how do you define one particular quantity? By comparison, correct now? If you have one thing, you have a standard to compare. So with what we are comparing it is a small, there should be a greater one also now. So like that. So the Lord is the greatest person actually, wherein we are all the very infinitesimal size of the living entity. So we are covered by Mahamaya, as Mataji told, whereas the Lord is being covered by the Yogamaya. Even if one person get out of this Maya and then he's striving, he has to actually understand the spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord and his activities and the Leelas. So that will help him to perform the devotional service. Otherwise, we'll be always in this illusory energy that is in the Mahamaya. So as I think in first canto, 6th chapter, no, 7th chapter. 7th chapter, I think there is a sloka in that the Maya Devi, that means is been doing a thankless service actually. Thankless, that means still she is continuing taking care of this material world, and then she's under the 3 modes, under the spell of the 3 modes, she's able to take care of us actually. And then every moment there is a test actually, how far we are actually towards inclination to the Supreme Personality, that is service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how far we are able to recollect the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if Jiva strives for that, obviously she also blesses us actually, because that is how actually we have been put here. So we are always under the spell of the Mahamaya, and if one strives for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, she also actually helps us actually. So if at every moment there will be testing, like when a yogi leaves this body, he will be passing through many planets now, like and then he will be getting purified, and every planet above the earth also is more opulent. So there also the testing for the jiva happens for I think passing through of a yogi. I think we have studied now in, I think in 3rd canto it's there. So like it will go to the purification in the fire planet will happen. Like that, it will cross the Mahatattva and then Brahmajyotir, and then it will reach to the Brahmajyotir. So every phase actually there is a purification, and then there are more opulent things. Still there is a testing for Jiva. So a Jnani will be passing through. So how actually the Jnani doesn't like this material. He has a hatredness basically, because he feels that this is a Maya Loka, and then he thinks it is Maya, and then it is not at all there. So that's why that hatredness will be there now. So he will be passing through each and every planet, and everywhere the testing of the opulent will be there. Whether that jnani is inclined there or inclined there, and then they have to pass through. So even the Brahmaloka and then Mahatattva, he has to, the 7 layers he has to cross of the universe, and then he has to go there. So we have already studied about that, correct now? So every phase of life, a jiva has to be, as it will be prone to get into the testing phase of Maya Devi. So one should be having a very strong conviction, and then for a devotee, this will be easily handled. That is, the process is simple, but the practicing will be the tough thing, because every day we have to practice, every moment we have to practice in a more inclined way, with a more intention being the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means the thinking about the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and then performing our austerities. That means day-to-day activities, following the 4 regulations, 16. That is Nama Japa. How much we are purifying the Nama Japa. That is very, very important. So that will help us to pass through all these things. For a jnani, he has to pass through all the planetary system. But for a devotee, it's not like that. There will be a direct, that means they will be going direct to the any Vaigunda, to which form they are actually having the meditation. So meditation in the sense, whatever the form they are taking into the account, that means like Govinda or Narasimha, whichever the form, Rama or Krishna. So to that Vaikuntha, they will be taken care by the Vishnu Dutas. So one should strive out of all the 4, that means Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. So Bhakti Yoga is the easiest thing, whereas the other 3, it will take, it is very tough actually. Karma Yoga, without any expectation, Nishkam Karma Yoga, and then they have to culminate. All these yogas also have to culminate in Bhakti, then only it is, the yoga is fulfilled. Otherwise, they have to again come back. Correct now? Jnani, because of the mental speculation and then the realization, okay, Ham Brahmasmi, and then he feels that once he attains the Brahman phase, he being the God. So that means the philosophy wise, actually, the realization wise, it is not the completion thing. So, but a devotee always have that strong faith in the form of the Lord, and then so by fixing the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord, if the devotee continues the the devotional service, so obviously the purification process happens actually. Correct now? So that will help them to go back to Godhead. So that is the ultimate goal. The minimum goal have to be achieved by Jiva. Otherwise, they have to again come back here. So here in the sloka, Bhagavad Gita 18.61, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, that means controller of the entire, that is living entities here. Hridayeshu Arjuna Tishtati, that means in every living entity, the Supreme Lord is seated actually, right now, and is directing we are all wandering living entities. That means our mind will never, not even a second, our mind will be able to get fixed on the one particular thing. So then we have to do the practice to fix our mind on the lotus feet of the Lord. So if we are able to realize that the Supreme Lord is always governing us, always giving the empowerment to do things. So do we think that we are only doing all this chanting and all? No way. It has been either. We have been empowered to do chanting also. So everything, not only chanting, any work, because of the mercy of the Lord, we are able to move further. So we are who are seated as on, it is like a machine, like in a car, a driver is sitting. So the car cannot go himself, because the driver has to take the steering wheel, and then he has to put the direct, that is by pressing the clutch or a brake. As per the actions, actually the car can be stopped, or car can be driven, correct now, or the speed of the car can be increased. So here the directions and all comes from this the living entity who is sitting like that. The living entity has been directed by the Supreme Lord. So but the desire by the living entity is always put in the action. So based on the guna, that particular jiva is being acquired. So the one must strive at least to be in the sattva, so that it will help to move forwards towards the Suddha Sattva and Vishuddha Sattva. So here in this mission we are sitting now, this jiva is sitting. And this machine is made of the material, like how car is made of the matter. The Supreme Lord gives the living entity a chance to enjoy, because we want to lord it over. That's why, based on the desires, and then Lord has given the option, okay, you go and enjoy there, but you have to refine your things and then you have to come back here. So otherwise, if you are thinking about the material things, you will be into the whirlpool. So you have to come back again and again here, and then you have to, the enjoyment or a suffering, which are the temporary aspects of the that is one religious here. So it is both temporary only. Either enjoyment also is temporary, and either the suffering also is temporary. That will be always there in this life. So then he will be not be able to go back to the Godhead. So one should realize the who am I? That means what is the relationship between the Supreme Lord, and then what is this body and the Jiva. So all those things one should strive for that. So the living entity being very small, I think Srila Jiva Goswami actually says that connection that the living entity within the body is extremely difficult. This can be visualized by the person who has come to that Tattvadarsha platform, and was striving also. At least whenever we are suffering, we are going and analyzing. We are not in the Tattvadarsha platform, but still for a small issues also we think why we are suffering, and then what is the root cause of this issue. So like that we are going and analyzing. At least we are using our little intelligence, whatever we have been given by the Supreme Lord, and then at least we are making a strong conviction that we should not repeat to that level, at least, because suffering is there always here. And then again and again, why we need to put ourselves in the similar situation and get suffered. So we are always moving towards what actually the right actions, and then how to get rid of this suffering. So like that our actions are becoming refined, but still we are in the progressive way. Correct now. So if we are in that progressive way, one fine line, I think, by the mercy of the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord, we'll be able to achieve the, at least to the minimum level, to the lotus feet of the Lord. So here the body is different, Atma is different. So one should know, understand that actually. Okay. So if any other, if you have any thoughts, you please come forward. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yes,
Actually, now in our family, my husband's elder brother passed away, and it's very much appropriate, Mataji. This about this you told Nadi about nature of living entity and the body, all these things. So I can relate that, Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes. So we'll be having a grief also, but we have to realize that he will again come back, or he will go back to the Godhead. So whichever option, as per his karmic reactions, that realization we should have internally, not on the external way. Okay. So external way it will hurt people, because not everyone on the same platform. Okay. So that's one thing we have to always follow. Okay. And I have kept one backlog thing, maybe very long back in this canto only, which I would like to take up today. There were two things. One is the moon god being cursed by Daksha, and then he won't be begetting the children. Okay. So because of Daksha's curse. So that was spoken in this chapter, in this canto. But the other side, then how actually Abhimanyu and even Buddha Graha, Buddha, that means Buddha is Mercury, na? Mercury also is a son of moon god actually. Correct, na? So what happens after getting the curse? This moon, the moon god, goes to Brahma to that means to get how to mitigate this curse actually. So Brahma directs to Lord Shiva actually. Okay, this is I have got from the. This has not been spoken in this, not covered in this Bhagavadam, but this is the actual thing. How actually the moon god beget these children. So it is not that he's been vanishing or something kind of thing. That means we also see that Krishna Paksha and Sukla Paksha, the moon waxes and wanes actually, correct now? So the moon god goes to Lord Shiva and then prays for this, how to mitigate this actually, and then Lord Shiva puts him on his head actually, and then gives a position wherein the 15 days that whatever the curse has been, it will be minimizing and then the maximizing thing. So in that way, he didn't lost the energy which he possesses also, and then he was able to beget children. That Abhimanyu was also his son. That means that is in Kali, that is he became the son. For 16 years he has to be separated from his son. So that period has been put to the that is as per the will of the Lord. Everything happens. We should think about that. And then Buddha Graha, the Buddha Graha. That story also we know. Brahaspati's wife and moon god had that means the sun is the Mercury actually. And then that's why in astrological thing also, so that is moon means not a favorable to Guru. So that is Brahaspati. So this is based on the astrology, but this is the thing happened actually. So which is not spoken in the Bhagavatam. Okay. This is one thing. And in the 16th chapter, 6th chapter, 16th sloka, we had seen there is one Panchayama, so which is related to the Kala kind of thing. 1 second. So journey, 6th chapter, 16th sloka, because span of day. Okay, we have studied now. So like we all do the activities that we never deny. Okay, so this meaning of this Panchayama is related to the sacrifice actually. So the Karma Kanda sacrifices, whatever, 5 kinds of Karma Kanda sacrifices. We have studied about these sacrifices. Can anyone able to recollect what are the different types of sacrifices we perform? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sacrifice of body. That one, Mataji.
Not that one, Mataji. Sacrifice of body. That is the like the devote. That means a devotee who has been on the meditation. Okay. So realization of that is a sacrifice in the sense that way he is giving all the materialistic things, giving out and then situated on the self-realized mode. That is the highest actual Brahman. Okay. So that is one. What you told is right, but where there are other things actually.
Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, that one, Mataji.
This one like Pitru Yajna, Manushya Yajna, and that means oblations offered. Okay. For example, Bhuta Yajna. Bhuta Yajna means, Bhuta means the living entity. And it can be any living entity. Like we are watering the plants. Okay. We are giving the food. And for animal like dog, cat and all, we are giving the food now. That is called as that is serving the others actually. So that is called as a Bhuta Yajna. And then Manushya Yajna.
Bhutaruna, Devaruna, Pitruna.
Deva, correct. The oblations, whatever the oblations we are doing, correct na? These are all coming under the karma kanda thing only. So this when I feed this living entity, some punya will be incurring, correct na? That one.
Rishi Runam Guna.
Yeah, then Deva Yajna. That means we are offering oblations with the help of ghee. That means Homakunda. In that, ghee is the main factor, correct na? So oblations. And then this one, what is that? Pitru Yajna. That also comes. Pitru Yajna also comes. Okay. That only is called as a Panchayama. Okay. Yama means here actually it is 5 types of sacrifices. Yeah, that is whatever the things a person, at least to the minimum level, they have to follow, so that at one point of time they'll be able to get refined. By acquiring the Sukritis actually, at one point of time they'll be able to do the selfless seva also. Without doing, because not directly we'll be able to do the selfless service. Now we have been in the transformation of different species from the aquatics and then to the that is non-moving and then moving, all those things we have been, and then that is birds, all those things, this type of transformation. And after that, many births only we have become what? They taken the human form, like aquarium. So in that, so initially we would have been in the karma kanda, and then in that also, then some part will may elevate to the sakama, correct na? And then to nishkama, like that. It is like a progressive way. The ladder is like that only. We cannot become right from zero to topmost, that means pure devotee. We cannot enter into that, because every phase is a realization. Without realizing what is right and then what we have done wrong, and then how to refine oneself in their activities, and then realizing the supremacy, and then what is the relation between this jiva and the supremacy, then we will not be able to, what is that, perfection cannot be achieved. So here Panchayama also, even in Bhagavad Gita, so if somebody is doing karma kanda or somebody is doing a devata worship also, still actually Lord only gives that, what is that, benediction. Okay, at least after many births he will be able to get back to the mode of his worship actually. Correct now? One should not stop the whatever they are doing suddenly. So because in very initial phase we would also done that, because after knowing the higher, that is higher worship, so we always feel that others also should get that benefit. In the very good intention only we'll go and tell, okay, you worship, and then why you get into the fruitive activities. But that will not be understood by the others. The realization should come from them. They should strive for that actually. It should come from them only. So only thing is, after realization only they'll be knowing, so what type of worship we have to take it up. And even though we are giving the respects to the devatas in connection with the Supreme Lord has to be given. So without, in an independent way, we cannot do all those things. Within one day, we will not be able to educate, or we also wouldn't have realized that. After passing through so many years of reading only, we are able to understand. Correct? Now, still, so many things there are in that is upcoming line also we'll be able to realize. So today's realization, we may be thinking highest, but tomorrow's realization, when we understand, we will think that this is a base. So like that, every day the realization will be in the moving towards the progressive phase, whereas the opportunity should be taken. So by the jiva. So here the Panchayama, at least this one has been given, because at least if we are becoming little bit inclination towards us to uplift ourselves, then we'll get refined also. That is the thing. So Pitru Yajna, Manushya Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, okay. And then one more is Brahman, correct na? And then Devta Yajna. These 5 things are also spoken. That is the thing, it has been spoken here, okay. So I thank you all for giving this opportunity, but I am extremely sorry, but I took a lot of time to come back to you, because I don't want to speculate the things. So get confirmed with the authority, and then I want to share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you
Hare
so much.
Krishna, Bhante.
Thank
Dhanyawad.
you.
Hare Krishna.